This is a Film Stories original podcast.
Have you heard about the 2018 study that showed half of prenatal vitamins tested had unacceptable levels of heavy metals? No? Well, now you have. I'm Kat, mother of 3 and founder of Ritual, the company making traceability the new standard in the supplement industry. I remember staring at my prenatal vitamins and finding all these things I was trying to avoid. High amounts of heavy metals, synthetic colorants, and unnecessary ingredients. So, at 4 months pregnant, I quit my job and started Ritual because I believe that all women deserve to know what they're putting in their bodies and why. I'm so proud of our prenatal vitamin. The ingredients are 100% traceable, it's third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals, and recently received the Purity Award from the Clean Label Project. You see, we trace like a mother because, let's be honest, no one cares quite like a mother. But don't just take my word for it. Trace for yourself with 25% off at ritual.com/podcast.
We made this.
The truth is in here. This is our special Fight the Future Minute podcast, and I'm your host, Cortlan Waters Bartley. You are listening to our coverage of minute 16 of the X-Files Fight the Future. I'm here with X-Cast patron and regular guest, Cathy Glinski. Hi, Cathy.
Hi, Cortlan.
So, minute 16 starts at 15 minutes, 0 seconds, with Mulder putting change in the vending machine, and it ends at 15 minutes, 59 seconds, with Mulder calling Scully for help. And right away, Cathy, the thing that I noticed about minute 16 as opposed to previous minutes is how quiet it is.
Yes, that's true. There's no dialogue or very little dialogue. It's very tense.
Yes. The whole time, this entire minute 16, we are just in this vending machine room with Mulder trying to figure out why the machine ate his change.
Yeah. I love the process he goes through, First, punch every button, then hit the machine, then shake the machine.
I mean, it's not unrelatable.
Right,
the desire to shake the vending machine to get your drink or whatever out of it.
And that's what I love. It's just a very, any of us have been in this situation. We would have reacted the same way. It's very mundane, and then it leads to something, very unreal, that none of us has been through, hopefully.
Right. I hope that's true. I do think it's really funny. I mean, and such as like a stark contrast, because even when it's just Mulder and Scully, on the roof or having their conversation, there's background noise, and there's just nothing in this room. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if we listen really carefully, we'll hear fluorescent light bulb sounds. I don't know. Right, but I doubt it. I don't think there's any noise there other than him kind of like shaking the
pounding on the machine. Yeah, that's true. It would really focus your attention on Mulder and what he's going through. It makes you wonder why.
Yeah, like it's clear. I think pretty much, maybe not right at the outset, but it becomes clear pretty quickly that something's wrong in the vending machine room. And we have to figure it out, and so does Mulder. But it's funny to me, too, because he was just talking, just minutes earlier, was talking about hunches and random chances and all of the Mulder kinds of things that he does regularly in any X-File. And bam, here he is. He wandered into this room. He put his change in this particular vending machine.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of thing that happens to him all the time.
Yeah. And he's the reason they're in that building to begin with, so he had the hunch and it's paying off, but it's paying off very, very well for him. You're right. He chose that machine at that time.
There are 3 machines in that room and he picked the one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. that was not actually going to give him a sweet drink for Scully.
Yeah. What if he'd chosen, the one to the left? I'd never
Yeah,
thought
exactly.
of that before. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and obviously this is a movie, and so, okay, of course he was going to choose that one. But in terms of Mulder's perspective, I mean, what are the chances?
Yeah.
Good for him, I guess. Way to play that hunch.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
Of course, this happens to him all the time, so.
It does happen to him. Just only to him, though.
Only to him. Yeah. Scully never sees it, so.
Well, and so I think too, I mean, I feel like I've seen lots of commentary about this scene, like, if the vending machine is really unplugged, which Mulder discovers that it is unplugged.
Right.
Like, why is the light on
right.
in the front? And I don't know.
It seems a strange circumstance. That why is it lit up as if it's plugged in? And what would putting the bomb inside keep the lights on to make it look normal? That seems silly, but
right. Why does it even accept his change at all?
Right.
Wouldn't that just be fake? I don't know.
True. Yeah.
Is there room in there to take his change? I don't know.
Yeah.
Where did it go?
Question these things.
No, that's far too detailed probably for us to, really consider.
Yeah, because I think it's just looking back there and finding the plug unplugged is just really, that's where the tension ratchets up, and I think that's
exactly
great. It's a great moment, so I'm not going to question the fact that the vending machine is all lit up and pretty.
No, it's fine. It's set dressing, like the other vending machines.
That's right.
So the other thing too, and we, as you and I talked about in minute 15, the black-haired man, he's not actually in this minute. But I think, as soon as, and at least for me as a viewer, as soon as I realized, there's something amiss in the vending machine room, my mind was, well, of course, that guy has done something.
And I'm sure that was the intent. I just didn't make the connection. I just thought, okay, some guy left the vending machine room, as people will do. But I'm sure that the filmmakers intended you to remember that some sinister guy just left the vending machine.
Sinister. Well,
so good for you. You got there.
They did pick a recurring sinister person.
They did.
Just in case. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
So that one sailed right past me. But that's, I kind of at that point, that's when I started to think, well, if someone is responsible
right
for this, and we don't really know that much about the circumstances of the bomb threat or anything, like too specific about those things. But obviously someone did this.
Yeah. How long ago was this bomb threat called in? So they've obviously been searching for some time, and Mulder and Scully have been on the roof and searching for this bomb. Is this guy just now getting it set up in the vending room, or had he been hanging out? I bet he was hanging out there trying to get the lights to work.
Right. He was like, how do I keep this light on and also not have the machine be plugged in?
Right.
And is it a vending machine at all? Like, if there's isn't all the space in there is pretty much taken up by the bomb. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But is it a vending machine at all, or is it just a faux vending machine?
Yeah, maybe. But it was unplugged. So if they plugged it
Why does it even have a plug?
Why does it have a plug? This is such a great minute.
I don't know. This is a slow minute. Definitely not the most action-packed minute.
Yeah. Although very tense minute.
No,
very
tense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think mostly owing to the lack of musical background. There's no score either.
Yeah.
It's just literally a silent minute of Mulder investigating the vending machine, which sounds like really not good fan fiction, but it is in fact a scene from the movie.
It is a scene from a movie, but it's just 1 minute. I think we can forgive a little slowness in 1 minute. Yeah,
I completely and it's a critical minute.
It is.
We're discovering a bomb.
Yeah. So he discovers the bomb, and then he also discovers that he's locked in the room, which is interesting. Yes.
What a great callback to not being locked on the roof.
Right. So apparently this guy was going to he was expecting the room to be empty when he left it, because he was just going to lock the bomb in there, and then it would explode and no one would know anything about it. But Mulder snuck in the last second.
Right. Well, and I do always think about that. Like, what was this guy's original plan? Probably to lock the bomb in the vending machine room and hightail it out of there.
Yeah. Thinking no one's the wiser.
Right.
But here comes Mulder.
Well, of course he does. Playing his hunch, picking the vending machine. He just knows these things magically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, did we miss anything from minute 16, Kat?
Oh, I thought it was interesting. This was the first day of filming on the Fox lot. The first day of filming. This was shot on the Fox lot, and it was the first day of shooting for Fight the Future. So I kind of like knowing that little bit of trivia. So they're just getting into this big screen acting. Sure. I do remember I watched the commentary at some point in this week, and I do remember them talking about this, like the comedic element of working with David Duchovny in this scene with the vending machine, like, shaking the vending machine specifically. Right. So what a pretty relatively simple scene to start off a very not simple movie. Yeah. First day of filming. I think, though, that we have talked about the vending machine room pretty thoroughly. I think unless there's anything else. Okay. Does he call Scully right at the end of this minute? Yes. Okay. So I believe that right at 15 minutes, 59 seconds, he is punching the buttons on his giant cell phone to call Scully. I don't think that she even picks it up at the end of this. No, she picks it up in the next minute. Yes, yeah. It's literally just the sound of the phone buttons. No dialogue, right? So he calls Scully right at 15 minutes and 59 seconds to wrap up minute 16. He's discovered he's locked in, and he's got to call for help. Cathy and I will be back with minute 17, when Scully is just as skeptical about Mulder finding a bomb as she is about Mulder finding literally any other kind of thing that Mulder usually finds, like Bigfoot or aliens. So thanks for chatting, Cathy. And thanks, everyone, for listening. Until next time, as always, trust no one.
Previously on the We Made This Network. Mild threat and peril.
Girl Next Door falls into that category as well. And again, I watched it today. I went, can't be as bad as I remember. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Shouldn't have watched that. It was fucking horrendous. Everyone our age, if they don't like horror, everyone our age has seen, Halloween H2O at the very least, because it was around when we were teenagers.
I think, to be honest, Halloween H2O was the first one I saw.
I think it probably was for me as well, actually.
Yeah, and I think it was because I fancied Josh Hartnett as well, because I'd seen him in The Faculty.
That's not why I watched it.
Life's milestones.
Have you decided, or do you have a strong prediction on what would be the song that you have for your first dance?
Oh, that's so good. Again, I think it'd be a song that's like, for both of us is a big song. This is for like an epic first dance, and again, this is like big budget, but Greatest Showman, Rewrite the Stars.
Right, okay.
Like they have the whole routine with the ribbon and all that stuff, like the trapeze and all that.
Yeah.
If we were both that dedicated, I'm dedicated enough to do this, and if the other person was interested that much in Greatest Showman, which I feel like a lot of people are,
it's a good film.
To do the whole trapeze thing for Zac Efron and
as your first dance.
Yeah.
That's
how
amazing.
Epic would that be? Because everyone's like, let's just put on an Ed Sheeran song, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. But imagine it's like, why don't we and like the two of us are just there, and everyone's like, what the?
That would be amazing.
You won't forget me.
What do you actually think of that scene where they first meet, Sam? Like by the fireside. What is your take on it?
That is actually my favorite scene. Okay. I love that scene so much. It explains both of the characters. It kind of serves as a double. It's not only a great amount of exposition, we get to learn about both Joan and Larry and their hopes and dreams, but we also see them fall in love. This is basically the only opportunity that we get to see the romantic relationship in the first place before we see it put to the test in the later parts of the film.
Check out all of these shows and more on the We Made This podcast network.